a number of people always, well, it's a conversation that often comes up, is how people worm their pigeons. Be they fancy pigeons, be they flyers, be they exotic, whatever. And everyone has their own technique and their own style, and I'm just going to share my way of doing it. I don't have any flying pigeons. I basically just have tumblers and jacobins and fancy pigeons. Still as precious to me, anyway. But obviously it's very important to keep a check on the health status of your bird. And I'm one of these people. I'm really old-fashioned. I know. I'm a Galway lad. I can't help it. I worm all my birds, pigeons and poultry, kind of prophylactically throughout the year. At the beginning of every season, I worm them. Even though they may not be showing any signs of infestation or anything like that. And generally what I find is that by the time a bird is infected with worms, by the time you notice, rather, the damage can really be done. By the time you notice that they have lost a lot of their weight or they just haven't been eaten properly. There you see two of my flamingos. These are lovely pigeon. And they're in really good condition at the moment. That male is trying to bully, as pigeons can be vigorous. He's a female on eggs and they're in the corner, so that's actually one of their last fledglings. What am I saying? Oh yes, he's trying to tell the fledgling to move on. Anyway, changing subject. This is what I use to worm the pigeons. And I make it a habit of every couple of weeks is to handle every bird, every 2 weeks at least, to handle every bird individually. It's a good practice to have, checking their body weight, checking them, their inside their mouths for any evidence of canker, which is like a thrush-like effect that pigeons are very susceptible to. Different treatment for that. But most importantly is you're checking their condition, their body weight. I use a good popcorn mix, balanced mix, so my pigeons are generally always in good condition this time of year, any time of year, but particularly coming into the winter you want to have them good and healthy. So this is, I started using this Wormac product, and I use it in tablet form, comes in liquid form as well, and there are many different formats of worming product out there. Everyone has their own preference. I personally am not a big fan of putting product into water because, as you know, pigeons, they make a mess of water very easily, just as any birds do. And you're just not going to be guaranteed that they're not going to get the quantity that is prescribed for them for it to be effective. And I have often put product into water and end up, throwing the water out at the end of the day because it's just soiled, and throwing half the product out, and it just feels like a waste. So you have to have the exact amount of water with the prescribed amount of medication if you're using a soluble format. With the Wormac tablet, I know exactly that the pigeon is treated, so it's 1 tablet per bird, and as I said, I use this on a prophylactic basis. That's not necessarily indicated that is an old-fashioned habit, in that, I'm looking at these birds now and I don't see any problems with them, but that's not to say that one of them may not have a worm, inside them doing some harm, laying some eggs. So my ambition is always to kind of kill those eggs before anything hatches in them or more worms come out and start doing their harm. So I'm going to show you how I do this. I'm just going to show you on one of the birds here. So that's the way the Wormac tablets are. They come in like a regular blister pack. I have one opened here because I have some of these done already. And the only safe way, I know you can get worming product that comes in like a crushed kind of powder format as well, and you can sprinkle it over the food. I don't like that either, actually. God, I'm awful. particular anything. I just think that there's too much of a chance of the product being wasted. So, pigeons, like, when they're scattering, they're looking for their favourite popcorn or whatever. Like here, for example, what is all this stuff doing on the floor when it's meant to be in their feeder? So if they're doing that amount of scraping and kind of scratching of their food, all of the product is going to get wasted. So this is my Wormac tablet. Can you see that on my camera? Yes, you can. Okay, so I'm going to keep that there. Most important thing that I've done is I have my little sanitizer, which I can't do here now because I'm doing this in the dark as well, because A, I have such a full life. I'm only messing. And B, it is the best time to do it because the birds are not going to get all flustered and agitated. You can take them down off the perches easily. There's no feathers in the air. No one gets kind of all panicked and distressed. And you put them back onto the perch gradually, and you don't put them back on until you are certain that you've seen them swallow the tablet. So, on that note, I'm going to leave that there for a second, and I am hopefully going to be able to let you see how I do this. Now, of course, I'm working on my wrong hand because I'm right-handed, so I'm kind of working across my body. This is terrible. But anyway, look at, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the pigeon's beak. I can't do this because I'm what we call in Ireland a kitog, so I can't work across my body, which is kind of, it's kind of an disability thing, but I've really worked it to my advantages. It's a great chatterblind. Oh, dear God. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I'm just basically going to open the bird's beak. No, you see, I can't do that now with this hand. So I'm going to, hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing because I can't really. So I'm only going to just do one like this. I want it to get down inside its tongue. Goodbye. Ah yeah, and you see the way he swallowed? So the most important thing is to make sure that you see him taking that gulp and you know that the product is gone. And I'm just looking down there. Yep, not a sign of it. So I am 100% certain that that pigeon has been wormed. And the extra kind of security that I have by putting them back up onto the perch after it's done is that it's going to stay on the crop for the night. It'll absorb, it'll break down and start doing its work by first thing in the morning. And then when I had them all treated, I clean out everything in the, it's not a loft, it's like a pigeon coop shed. Just clean down everything. I know this is kind of late November, it's very unlikely that any of the pigeons have worms, but it is a very mild winter. It was like 15 degrees here yesterday, which, we've had summer days less than that. So it is quite possible that pigeons could pick up worms. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of them because I couldn't put you through see me trying to be working across my body like that. So I'll do them all. There's 10 that I have to do here. I just want to see this little lady here in the corner with her 2 eggs. I don't know how many days she's on them actually. I think today is her first day. They look like very fresh twigs that were brought in today, so tonight must be her first. Actually, yeah, tonight is her first night hatching, so I better get her done now before she gets too settled on the eggs. Okay, so that is how not saying it's how it should be done, but that is the way that I do it. Each pigeon gets one tablet down over the tongue. Make sure that they swallow it. And if it's the case that your bird is sick and you know that they have worms, I repeat it after about 3 days. So this is a prophylactic measure that I'm using here. I have no sick bird, touch wood, but this is to make sure that they stay healthy coming into the winter. Anyway, hope that's helpful to you. Talk soon. Cheers. Stay safe.